The highly anticipated Paramount Plus card is set to be headlined by Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes, according to Ariel Helwani.
First event, Paramount Plus, January 24th, 2026, Las Vegas, T-Mobile. I said, you've got Ilia, he hasn't fought since June. You've got Paddy, he hasn't fought since April. There's the history there, there's the beef. Like, that is the perfect fight to start this thing. Put that on Paramount Plus, watch the subs just skyrocket, right? It sounds, at least as of now, and I'm not reporting this as definitively, but it sounds, at least as of now, that that fight isn't scheduled, believe it or not, for the January PLE, if you will. What I'm hearing, the plan is frontrunner, Kayla versus Amanda. Now, could they do both? Sure, of course, why not? But I'm not hearing that that's a part of the mix.
Now, this fight is a great competitive fight for hardcore fans, but will this drive the casual audience to go out and subscribe to Paramount Plus? It doesn't seem likely. The general consensus among fans was that Ilia Topuria was going to main event this card, either against Arman Tsarukyan, Paddy Pimblett, or Justin Gaethje. If not Ilia, then maybe Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane could have had their rematch on this card. Fans' reaction online to this Nunes versus Harrison rumor hasn't been positive. Reactions such as, quote, "Are we serious? No one is buying Paramount to watch this. Surely not. It's a massive fight, but how can we rely on someone that struggles to make weight and someone who hasn't fought in nearly 3 years to headline? This would be a massive mistake. You have the potential to bring in so many new fans with the first big Paramount event. You need a surefire banger to headline. Sure, this is a great fight and one that I'm very excited for, but this is not the fight to bring in a new audience." End quote. Now, there was a rumor that gave fans hope that Alex Pereira would be headlining this card against Carlos Ulberg, but Helwani sources say that is not true.
I've seen some reports that Alex Pereira versus Carlos Ulberg is going to happen on the January 24th Paramount Plus card. I did check in with some people and they told me that this was not true and that the hope is still White House card against John Jones. That's the current hope, and there's been no discussion of a Carlos Ulberg fight. I had reported earlier that Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes is being discussed. I don't know if that's the only title fight on the card, but I can tell you that Ilia versus Paddy isn't being discussed, and that's why I've sort of changed my stance. This could all change by tonight. They could call up these guys and say, we want you to fight on the card, but that's as of Saturday night and yesterday when I was checking in post-show, I was checking in and yeah, that's what I came up with.
But what happened to Ilia Topuria? Why isn't he fighting in January? The big three, Arman, Paddy, and Justin, have been begging to fight Ilia on this Paramount card for weeks now.
You know, they don't have, or they have not announced a main event for January, the first Paramount card. You didn't take a lot of damage tonight. Is there a chance if they said to you, hey, you can fight for the belt, but it has to be in January, could you turn around that fast?
Of course. I can rest 1 week, fly to US and stay there 2 months. It's enough time to get ready, and I didn't get any injured, thank God, and they have to say that, and hopefully on Tuesday they announce that fight, and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance, and I have pretty time to get ready.
Hoping to get a date soon as, know what I mean? Just sitting here waiting, lad, training every day, with no date in mind. Maybe January if Ilia steps up. If it is January, I'm very happy with where my weight's at the minute. I haven't got to worry too much about my weight. Easily get down to championship weight in 3 months. So it'll just be a rough Christmas. And as he's stalling, he's not saying yet to the fight, he's stalling. If I'm that shit, lad, I just want to take an easy fight and beat me down. Step up. As Tyson said, sign the contract, big boy.
My next fight, I am planning on fighting whenever Ilia Topuria is fighting. I was hoping they would let me fight him in January, but I can't really see that happening now. The biggest question is, when is Ilia fighting again? I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know that anybody except him and his team know the answer to that. Best case scenario now is they just put us on the White House card. I cannot imagine why they would not put that fight on that card. You know, he's a champ, he's very popular. I'm an American, just as deserving as anybody in the lightweight division. I've never not shown up for a fight, never let the UFC down, never failed them, and I've always been there for them. So I expect to get that fight and represent the United States of America on the White House lawn.
Dana White said back in October that Ilia headlining in January was a big possibility.
But I wanted to ask about the January card in Paramount, and what do you have anything special planned for that, and when do you start putting that?
Literally today. Matchmaking was today, and we started working on the first Paramount card today.
Okay, I'm not expecting you to say anything, but do you think there's a chance Ilia Topuria could end up on that card? Big star.
It's a possibility.
But but Ilia Topuria said in a recent interview that the UFC have not approached them at all with an offer to fight on this January card. Ilia did this interview in Spanish, so the clip I'm about to show has YouTube's new feature of English dubbing over it.
Well, let's get into the current situation. Ilia, Dana White is pushing, saying, let's see. I would like Ilia Topuria to fight in the first quarter of 2026. There's a new contract with Paramount and they want to put the biggest stars.
Yes, he said that.
He said, they specifically asked him at a press conference and they said, could it be? Is there a chance that Ilia Topuria will fight in January? Quote, and he said, there are chances.
Well, at the moment, the truth is that I haven't had any kind of approach from the UFC. They haven't told me anything about any fight, so I don't have anything on the horizon. I can always guess things and it also depends on me, right? With whoever he wants to fight, and in the end the interests of both parties come together and we'll see what happens.
Since it seems that Ilia may not be fighting in January, we might see him return around February or March, but against who? In that same interview, Ilia says above all, his first option is moving up to welterweight to fight Islam Makhachev, but since Islam is expected to be out until June for the White House card, Ilia says his second choice is Paddy Pimblett. Again, this clip has English dubbing over it.
And who does Ilia Topuria want to fight? Well, I have Paddy in mind. I would like to fight Paddy if they don't let me move up to welterweight to fight Islam, because the fight I would really like to have is against Islam in the 3rd division. But well, let's see. Maybe I'll do a fight and then in the summer there will be a date when they will let me move up a division and I can fight for the 3rd belt, or a new belt will be created called the pound for pound in a catchweight where we both meet and fight for that pound for pound. So let's see. There are many options as always and we will see what there is for the future.
Arman Saryukin, who dispatched Dan Hooker quite easily this past weekend in Qatar and cemented his #1 spot on the lightweight rankings, is upset to hear that Ilia is preferring to fight Paddy Pimblett. Arman accuses Ilia of wanting the easiest fight possible so he can safely move up to welterweight afterwards.
Why didn't Ilia go in the ring with you on Saturday? Because if Ilia goes in the ring and you two stand, now people forget about Paddy Pimblett. Why didn't he go in there?
Because he doesn't want to fight me. He's scared of me, and he knows why I should take dangerous fight with Arman. He's a real contender. It's easier to beat Paddy Pimblett, make easy fight and go move up, and Arman can be a champion in 155, and I'm going up and fight with the 3rd title. It's the best case scenario for him, and he's thinking for easy fights, making good money. Yeah, I just want to say, Ilia, get your balls and take the fight. Let's make it happen. People is waiting for that fight. Don't try to make WWE fight. There is a contender, #1.